Hello lovely stitchy friends, I'm Kat and I'm delighted you could stop by my channel Catkin and Lily where we talk all things cross stitch. It's Saturday the 5th of July, so I'm here for FLOSSTUBE episode number 51 and a little roundup of all my stitchy goings on for the last couple of weeks. If you're a returning viewer, then thank you so much for coming back to spend some more time with me, and if you're new here, welcome. You're going to get to see a lot of stitching today. Well, I mean there's usually quite a lot of stitching, but yeah, it really does feel like I have quite a lot. I have brought a huge selection of whips because I've gone back to feeling, that's works in progress, feeling like I'm just trying to touch everything at the moment, which honestly is not the best plan. But I do have lots to share with you. So I'm joined on the sofa by a massive pile of whips and still one finish. Yes, I'm still on the finishing roll. I keep thinking I'm going to have to sit here and say, okay, no finishes this week. This is not that week. We have one finish. And the reason I have so many whips is I've also had 2 new starts, so there's that. There's a little tiny bit of new stash, not super loads, and I have a giveaway winner to do. So all very exciting and very good stuff. So as I say, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, and if you're a new viewer, I hope you're going to enjoy seeing everything I've got going on. It's a pretty good selection for you to see today. So I think we better just dive in. Oh, I did want to say I'm filming slightly later today. It's not my normal to film on a Saturday. I try not to do all my stitchy stuff on weekends, but lovely husband Dr. Tim and I have been away for a few days. Had a lovely few days away in Dorset, and came back yesterday. And so it was just sorting out yesterday, so it wasn't going to film yesterday. So filming today, I mean, the episodes normally go out on a Saturday, so for most of you guys, it's not going to feel very different that I'm filming on Saturday instead of filming a few days earlier on Thursday, as I usually do. The only ones who are missing out this week, I'm afraid, is my fabulous Patreon stitchy friends, because I normally put it out early on the Thursday for them to see, but not this time round. Sadly, everybody's getting it all together. So let's dive in with the finish, because I usually do. And what do we have? Well, I will put the info panel up for you. For all of my projects, there's an info panel which will tell you all about the project, what it'll look like when it's finished, all the supplies I'm using, all of that good stuff. So the finish is This Bee's Got Knees. And yeah, this has been such a delight to stitch. It's a little bit of a weird finish for, well, you'll see, because the picture, as you'll see, the project is to make it up into a little 3D object. While I have a finish, I don't have an FFO, a fully finished object. So this is just stitching finished at the moment. It does not look like the picture that you'll be seeing up there. Now, this project was by Hands On Design. It was a Spring Mingle online event exclusive. So you can't buy it yet. I'm sure you will be able to in future, but for now, if you didn't get it as part of the Spring Mingle event, then you can't get it at the moment. You can get lots of lovely other hands-on design projects. I am a big fan of theirs. Now, I started this on the 3rd of May, 2025. I have to put the year in because some of my projects, even if they're small, do go for a while. So yes, 2025, 3rd of May, finished on the 26th of June. So here we are. I will also put where I was last time, because you might not even have thought I was going to finish this one, because I still had a decent bit to do. And here we are with the finish. And it's so lovely, this one. So gorgeous. All the finished backstitch, Smyrna crosses, all the bits and pieces. The bee in there is looking beautiful. Obviously, I've finished this around the edge. This is the backstitch line that will be used for making up. So that's what that backstitch line is for. Now, as I say, it's a slightly odd one because that is all the stitching finished, but of course it looks nothing like what it's actually going to look like. And of course, I couldn't count it as an actual finish until I also finished these. Let's see if these will stay on here. I'm going to put these on my board because it's being made up into a little sort of pincushion. You can I don't know why I'm faffing about arranging these because it's made into a pincushion. You also stitch some little elements on perforated paper to make into little pins. So I stitched those little bits as well. Now, I don't know if these are going to stay on here. We'll see. They might stay on here. Let's see if I can bring these in without them falling off of here, because I feel like this is the easiest way for you to be able to see these cute little elements. Aren't they sweet? So they're just little bits from the pattern. Some of them are quite obvious actually, the leaf and the flower and the little quilt block. Those are the ones that were shown on the pattern. This little one here is actually, I can show you, this little one at the top. Oh, they are staying quite well. This one is actually the very bottom section of the, let's see if I can show you. It's this, that little bit there at the bottom, that little blue triangle. And I've stitched the two of them together and then stitched white in the middle, so it makes another little kind of block, which is very cute. So obviously those are all finished. I need to make sure I do not lose those because they are very small. And I do not want to lose those. Oh, I've just realised my my little, sorry, we're just having some, I don't know why this fell over. I'm going to put it back. No, now his tassel doesn't want to hang. Put the tassel back there. There we go. Sorry, just set rearrangement while we're on camera. But I don't want you to miss my cute little bees on there. Anyway, that's my finish. So still finish. Very exciting. And then we're just going to get into whips. So there's a lot. So let's just get into it. And don't ask when that's going to actually get made up into a fully finished object. I'm less good at that. We know I have quite a lot of things that need fully finishing and are not yet. So, right, the first whip I have for you is Gaia the Earth Goddess, who is just amazing, absolutely amazing. Love stitching on this. So this is by Bella Filipina. It's just getting really, really enormous. And I was very excited last time. I had just about got to her face. So you'll see where I was last time. And here is where we are now. As always, I have trouble actually trying to hold her up so that you can see all of it. And again, I've been working, I'll bring her in because I've been working on the top section. So I've been working on the hair. So actually I finished off a little bit of the bodice here. And then I've worked on the hair up around there as well. So she is just looking stunning. Now I did say that I was thinking about bringing her out for a stitch with me. I definitely am. I haven't got to that yet and I'm not quite sure when I'm going to do that, but that is still very much on the cards to work on her as well. But other than that, I will probably just keep working on her because she is gorgeous. Absolutely love working on that. The hair is, a lot of it is like this, but the hair, the dress, a lot of sections, the colours just kind of flow and it's beautiful to work on and such a stunning design. So yeah, love that one. Moving on, we have the Stitchers Book Club Stitch Along by Clouds Factory. And actually I've done pretty well with this. So I'm still not caught up, but that's not a surprise. So this stitch along, can't remember quite when it started. I jumped in on it on the 9th of February. So I think it started right at the beginning of January. I was a bit late jumping in. And so I've been trying to just catch up a little bit. And I am getting there. So we are now, the picture on screen is part 7. So we've just had part 7 released, which was Roald Dahl. I was so excited for that one. I was actually really hoping that Roald Dahl was going to come up because one of my favourite authors as a child, read the books, a lot of them, goodness knows how many times. Very excited for that. Obviously haven't got to that yet. So let's see where I have got to, which is here. And as I say, really quite good progress from last time. So I've managed to finish now. I was working up here in this Agatha Christie section, which is all finished. And then we had the Lewis Carroll section. So we've got the Alice in Wonderland and the Cheshire Cat, that's all finished. Let's bring this in a little bit. And I've actually just got to start, I've done a couple of the books over here. So I've got a potion bottle left to go just on this side. And then I've got the section in here, which is Shakespeare. So that was part 6. So that's what I'm going to be working on. That was the June section. And then the July section under here is the Roald Dahl. So I'm actually doing quite well because I think I've actually made a start. Yeah, because those couple books on the side there, that was actually into June. So I'm definitely more caught up than I was. So we will see. Am I going to get caught up by August? Don't know. Again, still quite a lot of stitching, but I'm really pleased. I'm definitely, little by little, I'm catching up a bit. So that's exciting, and it's also so fun to stitch. So much fun. I know so many of you are stitching this and enjoying it as well. I'm not surprised. It's adorable. Next, we have The Mermaid's Realm, which I couldn't actually remember if I brought this. I think I did bring this one back out last time because I picked this one back up. I hadn't stitched it for a little bit. So this is by Joan Elliott. It had gone a little bit by the wayside, and then I picked it back up and started stitching on it a bit, and got fluff. And yes, I've done a little bit more. I took this one away on holiday with me and actually didn't do a huge amount, but definitely still some to see here, up over here. Just been working on that main section in there of the Mermaid, which, yeah, there's quite a big block of stitching there. But I love the sort of swirly here, and I love the sort of on the back side here with all the swirls. Really nice. Again, just a delight to stitch. I mean, that's, again, probably not tons of progress since last time. This is sort of the theme. I've touched a lot of things and made some progress, but not loads of progress on lots of things, which is why I'm going to try and whip through them relatively quickly. And we are on to the big one next with Dragon Race into the Night. And yeah, this one's definitely lost out a little bit. It had some extra stitching previously, and then in this last couple of weeks, probably a little bit less because, well, I couldn't take it away with me for a start. So that wasn't going to happen. And again, I had new starts. So yes, but there's some good progress. I have not yet got to 3%, but we are doing pretty well. As always, this one is just, I find impossible to wrangle onto my board because it's so huge. But I think you can see where I've been working on. If I can hook that up on there, and I think, let me see what I was doing. Yeah, this section over here. Oh, and actually, let me leave the picture up for long because I did come and work down here as well. So I think there might be more progress there than I think there is actually. So let's have a little closer look. Looking really, really good. I mean, it's nice to see it sort of close up, but I also think that it looks particularly good when you pull it back here as well, and you can sort of, from a distance, you really see the picture coming out, which I think it's really what you want with these huge projects. So yes, I will, again, keep working on that one. No special milestones on there. Don't know how many stitches I've done. It just looks good. Next whip is, I was about to say Dragon Race into the Night. I looked at my thing, I'm like, no, hang on, we've done that one. One in a Chameleon. From Dragons to Chameleons. And again, another one I've touched a bit, but not super loads. This is my Bothy Threads, my Rendell Designs by Bothy Threads. And it is, there we go. I was deciding which way to go last time, whether to do leaf, tail or body. Well, you can see I went with the tail because I think that just makes him look a little bit more chameleon-like, which is fantastic. So again, I love the colours on this one. Absolutely love the colours. Even in that tail there where you've got these lovely colours kind of coming out. It's really nice. Very, very nice to stitch. And some of the Bothy Threads kits, you'll see I've got another one later. Sometimes the threads are quite scratchy. This one's not too bad actually. The threads are playing quite nice. They're feeling fairly smooth. It is quite nice to stitch. Yeah, enjoying that one. Again, touched it a bit, not a lot. Next up is the Fisher King by Long Dog Samplers. This is the one that actually I could be very tempted to just literally sit with this one and not put it down and not stitch anything else. That one and Dragon Race probably. Because I'm stitching this one for Andrew the Runner Stitcher's Whip into Shape Marathon Training Challenge. So what I'm trying to do, because otherwise I know I'll get carried away, I'm trying to just stitch it, usually on a Sunday, and do the whole week's worth of stitches on that Sunday, and then put it away and not touch it again. Because otherwise I think I'm just going to overshoot. I mean, I'm overshooting the challenge stitch number a bit anyway, but that's fine. But what have we got for you this time? Really, really good. Again, this one's always a little bit difficult to hold, but that's where we've got up to. And I'm so pleased I managed to get into this little curvy bit over on the side, and just the start, there's a little tiny floaty boat and the start of a big ship above that. So yeah, that was really fun to get into this section over here and start to see that coming out. Got the little house done. And yeah, so many directions I could go with this now though. There's so much. Whether, you know, I can carry on with the boats. There's fruits and cherries hanging down below. There's so many good sections I want to do. I actually even want to get to, if I get underneath here, there's actually a squirrel down there that I want to get to. So many good bits. So yes, as I say, that one is yeah, I have to be very careful I don't just literally pick that one up and stitch on it. But I have got my stitches, all of my stitches for the past week just gone, that I will be doing tomorrow. So I get to sit and have a little long dog session tomorrow, which will be, yeah, be looking forward to that. Next whip is, this is my other Bothy Threads one that I mentioned. So this is Love and Light, which is by Lucy Pittaway. That's upside down. Let's see if I can get this the right way around for you. And this is the one the threads are a little bit scratchier. I'm actually using thread conditioner for this, which I very rarely do, but it is making it a little bit nicer. And again, this one I almost didn't bring to show you because of how many I've got to share. And I think it has the smallest amount of progress, but progress is progress. So I will show you. And yeah, we still just have kind of a green corner, but we have a little bit more yellow flowers in there as well. So there is a tiny bit more to see. Again, not a lot. So that's all the whips that you have seen previously. We are now up to new starts. So I mean, that's, how many have I done now? That's an awful lot that I've done already, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 7. And then we've got two new starts to see. The first of which is Seaside Tiny Town by Heart in Hand. So I've done one tiny town previously, absolutely loved it. Started Seaside Tiny Town, it's kind of that theme, and also while I was away I was actually by the seaside, so again this was the perfect project to stitch. And I had a WIPGO goal for June to stitch one house, which I've done. I've stitched almost 2. So here is where we are. Let's bring that in for you to see. And yeah, there we go. Oh, it's so cute, that little crab. Oh my goodness, that crab is adorable. Oh, and the little whale. The whale, so cute. He's adorable, he's adorable. I did debate whether to do his little eye and mouth, because obviously I would potentially be rolling this up from this end and I didn't want to squash it, but I think it'll be fine. And I couldn't leave him without his eye and mouth, so I did put those in. And yes, I had this one, I had slight fabric deliberations because the model is stitched on a kind of brownish colour, but I had some browns, the threads, it wasn't quite showing up. There are some light colours in here that weren't going to show up on some of the brown colours I had, or they were too dark. So I ended up, I had this fabric, but I've actually just recently got, which, well, it was on the thing, I think it's vintage grey, and it's a 36 count. Now, I think they look really lovely on there. I think it looks beautiful. I'm really pleased with that choice. I think if you hold it, the colours just really, really pop. The downside was that I felt like it wasn't beachy to me. I kind of wanted a sandy colour, but I couldn't find one where the colours popped sufficiently and then the light colours showed. So I've kind of gone with this because it does look really nice. And, well, I guess maybe this is more British day at the beach. It's kind of grey weather. In fact, it's pretty grey today. It's been so warm here and sunny, and very sunny while we've been away. I mean, it was actually really quite nice. But now it looks a bit more like this, kind of grey today. Either way, made a really good start on that. I feel like that's not too bad. I mean, 2 houses on there that's actually a decent chunk of the pattern. Now, I have not made perhaps as impressive a start on my second new start. And my second new start is Stitching Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Now, I've been talking about this one and starting this for ages. I've wanted to stitch it as soon as it came out, and part of the delay was finishing some other whips, and part of it was that I decided to start this one as a stitch along in my Patreon membership. So a whole load of other Patreon members are stitching it as well, so we're all stitching it together. Or we've actually expanded it so it's anything stitching themed for our little stitch along. So quite a few other people have picked out other stitching themed patterns, some fabulous patterns going on in there, as always quite a lot of enabling going on in there, but I love it. I love that I've picked something out that I wanted to stitch and we've set it up as a stitch along, and then everyone else is making it their own, whether that's picking a different pattern or using different colours. There's some amazing colourways going on in there. I have, well, I'll show you my start. As I say, not the hugest of starts. And this is where I am. So I have started in the middle, which is a little unusual for me, but I have split this, I split the pattern up into 7 sections, and I set the middle one as the first section to stitch because I know a lot of people like to start in the middle. So I figured I'd go with that, and then we're kind of working up and down and up and down to fill in all the sections of the pattern. So that's my start. Again, fabric deliberations. Oh my goodness. I think I'm happy with this one. We are 32 count Whisper Grey Linen by Zweigart, and actually it's really nice. Now, the reason I've got this all folded up is because I haven't cut the fabric down yet, because I wanted to be sure about the fabric before I cut it. It's quite funny. I did the same with my tiny town. I had an enormous piece of fabric and I had this right on the bottom of it. So I was literally stitching that tiny thing on a huge piece of fabric and just stitching in the corner. I have now cut it down. Now I'm happy, but yeah, that was a little bit silly. This one, as I say, I still haven't cut it down, but I probably will when I'm 100% happy with fabric and threads, because I did bring my threads to show you. I don't know whether, so I've kind of gone a bit rogue, and I'm still not sure if I'm 100% happy on my thread choices. What I've tried to do, because the pattern is colour and cotton threads with the DMC conversion, and I wasn't 100%, they're quite different. They're quite different, the DMC colours to the colour and cotton. Some of them are definitely a little bit different. So what I've got, I'll see if I can show you here, is I'll put it on here so that you can see. So what I've got Yeah, you can't see it super well because I can't get these all kind of hanging out on here. I've got a bit of a mix. There we go. I don't know if you can see those. Not super well, I don't think. Maybe if I do it that way. Anyway, I have a bit of a mix of some of the DMCs. What I've done is most of them are in pairs of colours. So I've ended up with the DMC for the darker colour and then a variegated, very, very slightly variegated for the lighter of each pair. So it's the same for the tealy colours. I've got DMC solid for the dark and I've got a lighter variegated. So if anybody desperately needs to know, probably when I've stitched a bit more what I'm using, I can let everyone know. As I say, I'm not listing them all out on my info panel because it's a bit of a mishmash and I might actually change my mind on some of it. We'll see how I feel as I stitch a bit more. But it is gorgeous. I'm, yes, very excited to dive into this one a bit more. Want to put a bit more in on the colours and see how I'm feeling about everything. But yeah, and give you all my little peek because look at those little bobbins. They're so sweet. So, okay, that is all of the stitching. So we've got a few more bits to go, but I think I'm just going to have a mini break and tidy these bits, and then we will be back with new stash, AOB, and a giveaway winner. So bear with me a minute while I do a little tidy. Right, let's get into some new stash, not that there's very much, and then I'll do, well, we'll do new stash for me and new stash for you. So I'll do my new stash and then we'll do the giveaway winner. As I say, there isn't very much anyway. The main bit of new stash I had was actually around stitching rules because I was mucking about with choosing colours. I ordered some extra fancy flosses just obviously to give me a selection of what I thought was going to be the best colours. So I'm not going to go through them all individually, but I bought this lovely, I have lots of, as you can see, I was mainly trying to get some greens and pinks and teal colours for use in stitching rules. So yeah, that's a combo of, there's some Weeks dye works in there, there's some classic colour works, and there's some gentle art. So those will just go into my stash. Those are the ones I'm not using, probably not using, unless I change my mind, which is possible. So I got those, and then I also got, while I was buying those bits and pieces, I couldn't really resist. I got these gorgeous, these are little charms. So they've got the little clippy bit at the top, so I could put those onto, well, you could put them onto the binder rings. I probably wouldn't because I think that's going to jangle around and annoy me, but I thought they'd be really good for project bags. So yeah, I thought they were super cute. So I did grab those, and I also couldn't resist. I mean, look, just look at that. This is the needle minder that goes with the stitching rules. So he's actually on the paper pattern somewhere. There with his little seam rippers. Now, I don't know if it's dangerous to have a frog on my stitching, but I am working on the assumption that if I have this little guy on my stitching, he will ward off all the other frogs. I'll let you know if that works or not. Either way, he's very cute and he's a very good needle minder as well. Really, really good. So yeah, love that. Now, the only other bit of stash I got, sort of not stitching related, but it could be, was while I was away on holiday, I can't resist a cute tin. And so I got this one. I just thought it was lovely. I love wrens and I thought it was really, really pretty. So it's that sort of depth. So just, as I say, pretty standard tin. It doesn't, the lid comes off completely rather than being on a hinge. And yes, I thought I might put my needles in here, but I might want them standing up and I'm not sure it's deep enough for that. So anyway, some lovely stitching supplies will go in there, I'm sure. Just got to have a good tin. So that was all my little bits of new stash. So let's do the giveaway winner. So I was celebrating last time FlossTube episode number 50 and celebrating the fact that I'm now self-employed with all my cross stitch nonsense. I should stop calling it nonsense. It's not nonsense. I am now a full-time cross-stitch designer, educator and community builder. So to celebrate that, I had a $25 gift card for 123 Stitch to give away. As expected, quite a lot of you were entered for that one. Very popular, with the keyword which was dream. As I always say, sadly, there can be only one winner, so I will pop it on screen as well. The winner is at Teresa Stitches. So yay, congratulations to you. Send me your email address. My email address is in the description somewhere down below. So if you grab my email address, send me your email address and I'll get that gift card pinged right over to you and you can get shopping straight away if you so wish. So with all of that done, what have we got next? Plans. Completely forgot, although again, always a little bit woolly with the old plans. First up, we have WIPGO plans. So as I mentioned, I have sorted my June WIPGO goals, sliding in literally up to the wire on that one again. I did my 2 goals were small and I did a couple coasters, which I showed you last time. That was done reasonably time-wise. And then I was going to stitch one house on Seaside Tiny Town, which I literally did scraping in, I think, on like the last day of June. So just about scraped in with that one. So WIPGO for July. WIPGO for July, very interesting. This is what I quite like about WIPGO. Is it just, yeah, it kind of throws me a curveball sometimes, but hopefully nothing that I can't incorporate into my plans. Well, the first theme that came up on my WIPGO board was close to a finish. And I did say I didn't think I'd got anything much else that was close to a finish. Now, this doesn't mean I have to actually finish it. The goal is just close to a finish, so something that is close. And I wasn't really sure I had much that was, and then I remembered. I've got the sorceress, and she's just waiting beading. So I think that's going to be my goal. Now, am I going to set the goal to be to finish the beading on the sorceress? I don't think that's reasonable because I think I'll get myself in a muddle with it. I do this, I think, oh, that'll be nice and easy. And then the specific goal I set myself is just way too challenging. So I'm actually going to set myself, the goal will be to do 2 days of beading on the sorceress. 2 good, full, like not quite full days, but 2 days when I can dedicate quite a lot of time to the beading. If I get it finished as well, that'll be a bonus. But 2 days, probably weekend days, where I can get good chunks of beading done. So watch this space because the sorceress will hopefully be back in 2 weeks' time. So with some beads on. That's going to be very exciting. And the second WIPGO theme that came up on my board that was called was oldest. Also interesting because I looked back then on what would be my oldest WIP. Now, there is one older WIP that I've actually moved to my UFO pile, my unfinished objects, because I haven't been working on it for a while. I know you're going to ask, I'm going to have to explain now, aren't I? It's the Christmas mugs by Shannon Christine Designs. I started these ages ago. I stitched 1.5 and I haven't done any more. And I'm moving it to the UFO for now. It doesn't mean I'm not coming back to it, but for now I need it kind of off my WIP list because there is a chance I won't ever get back to it. So I've moved that one, which means my oldest one, I'm going to put the info panel in for you because then you guys can see, and I've brought it to show you because you haven't seen it for ages, so I thought I'd tee up what we're going to be seeing, is the James Webb Space Telescope, which was a stitch along by Climbing Goat Designs ages ago. I haven't touched this for months, many months. I couldn't even tell you when, but I've been thinking I wanted to get back to this and work on it again, and now WIPGO said I had to touch my oldest, or do something with my oldest, and this is my oldest. So I thought I'd bring it and show you. This is where I had got to with it. So it's all of the outline apart from I'm missing two hexagon outlines down here, and obviously a lot of pictures. Now there is some wording down the bottom which I'm probably not doing. So this is where we got to, and I've actually got the threads pulled out. I couldn't tell you which one it is, but for the next one of the pictures to be filled in. I don't know which one it is, but that's fun. That's coming back out to play. So yeah, so lots to see. Now, this does feed into a teeny problem with this, is that I've already been trying to touch, goodness knows, what did I have? I had 7 whips, 2 new starts, that's 9. I've got to bring the Sorceress back, that's 10, and James Webb Space Telescope, that's 11. I can't be touching 11 whips over the next 2 weeks. Like, they're barely going to get any time at all each if I do that. So I'm going to have to be ruthless. I'm going to have to put a couple back on temporary timeout, so that I have a smaller number to work on over the next couple of weeks. I just don't know which ones are going to go back on temporary timeout. I'm going to have a bit of a think after this and work out what stays in the rotation just for now and what gets temporarily shelved, so I'm not hit every time with millions and millions of whips. So that's for me to have a little think about. And other than that, there isn't really anything. I don't have any planned new starts, which I think is probably just as well. I think, yeah, please no more. No new starts, because I do not need to throw anything else in the mix there. I'm already going to have issues about what I stitch on, so no more. Although my brain is immediately going, Christmas in July? No, I need to try to stay away from that unless I'm doing really well by the end of July. Let's try and not have any new starts by the time I see you in 2 weeks' time. Let's go with that and see how let's see how I'm getting on in 2 weeks' time. So that's kind of plans. Still very, very freeform. Lots of stuff that I really want to work on. And any other business? Well, as I say, lovely husband Dr. Tim and I have been away in Dorset for a few days. Before that, we were going to see Pulp in concert with some friends in Birmingham. It was amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Had the best time. Lots of dancing, lots of singing. Just, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed that. And then, as I say, we've had a few sunny days away. Very sunny, very warm. But we managed to get some lovely walking, lots of lovely food, probably, I always say, too much lovely food, fantastic cream tea, several ice creams, because it was so nice and warm. Yeah, just really, really lovely. Didn't actually get super loads of stitching done. It's funny, we go away on holiday, and because we were out and about quite a lot, I probably got less stitching done than if I'd been at home, ironically. Anyway. As I am filming Saturday, and I've got a nice quiet day tomorrow, and in fact I think we've got quietish weekends, just a few little bits of maybe family stuff or events with neighbours, so nothing huge. So I think I was going to say hopefully going to have some more stitching time. Oh, which actually I can't believe I nearly forgot to mention, I have been working on those new designs that I've been talking about. I've been working on some bee themed designs. I could have given you sneak peeks, but it's not quite there yet. If you want the earliest sneak peeks, I will be sharing in my Patreon membership very, very soon. Probably in the next few days, I will be sharing sneak peeks of that design. So if you want to see what the buzz is on that one, hint, hint, then yeah, I would love for you to come and join my Patreon membership. Not least, it's just amazing for so many reasons. Those so many reasons are the Patreon members, pretty much. I mean, yes, I'm in there sharing various bits and pieces, but it's the community that is the absolute best part of that. It's so good, so much fun, so much enabling. Yeah, loads of good stuff. So if you fancy that, come on over and join us. That would be amazing. Otherwise, I hugely appreciate the support that you give, whatever that might be, whether that's just popping a like on the video, leaving me a comment, subscribing to the channel, all hugely appreciated. And really, I just love that you guys turn up and watch my videos and get to see me, join me, sharing my passion for cross stitch. And of course, in between all the FLOSSTUBE videos, I've got lots of other good tutorial stuff coming up, tutorials, stitchy snippets. I have so many ideas of things to do. It's hard to pin myself down to actually what I want to do, to be perfectly honest, but there's loads of stuff going on. So basically just subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss all of that good stuff. And I think that wraps everything up for this FLOSSTUBE episode. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all of that. I hope you've got some of your own stitching done, and I hope I'll see you back here again soon. Until then, happy stitching, and bye for now.